fitness has always been a way to rise above that mental noise and remember the observer or the watcher behind it all, the awareness itself, and not getting kind of lost in the weeds. And it is a practice. This is essentially mindfulness, paying attention on purpose. That is the reward. That is what's going to keep you coming back for more. It gives you life. Remembering like why you started that sport and kind of relighting the juices of that creative process. That is what really matters, is feeling alive, that energy of play. And remember that that is what all of this is about. Welcome back to another episode in this series of Building Steady Strength. Today I really wanted to chat with you guys about my off season, which we chatted about a couple weeks ago. I was going to give you an update on what my next block of training is looking like, how I've been feeling in my body since my last update, but I decided I want to talk about instead something that I don't really hear anyone else talking about in the fitness industry. And I think I will save my next off-season update for the following video, so stay tuned for that. If you're new here, my name is Courtney Bishop. Welcome again to the channel. It's lovely to have you here. I am a high performance coach. I work with athletes in the gym, helping them to perform at their highest potential. My background is as a certified strength and conditioning specialist, as well as a trauma-informed yoga teacher. So I use these two lenses in the gym, but I also coach coaches outside of the gym to help them step into their highest potential beyond just the gym. So making a leap into that career of their dreams and just creating the lifestyle that they love. What brings me here today is chatting with you about the topic of movement as a pathway to presence. Like I said, this is not a topic that I really hear others in the fitness space talking about. You see a lot of fitness coaches demonstrating and teaching how to do certain movements, why you should do certain movements, and why they are important for your physical anatomy, which is great and so needed. But with my kind of mindfulness lens and kind of what drew me into the world of fitness is the idea of fitness being a pathway to presence. Being an athlete all my life, I intuitively learned how to do certain movements in the gym. I did have coaches over the years, but a lot of the times I was more focused on the feeling and the sensations in my body to guide me and steer me into making sure I was doing them right for me. What happens sometimes with folks who are new to the gym or who look from the outside at those in the fitness industry is they see fitness sometimes as intimidating, sometimes as superficial, as just a way to change how your body looks, and maybe as a way to change how your body performs. If you're into sports and getting, stronger, faster, more flexible, things like that. Why, yes, those are side effects of what happens when you start focusing on your fitness as a pathway to presence. But what is more rewarding than just channeling your focus into that outcome orientation, and especially one that holds the orientation of trying to change external appearance based on outside perspective, which there is a healthy way to do it that is rooted in changing appearance for yourself versus how you are perceived by others. but that could be a whole nother topic here. Why I really wanted to talk about this is because it's one of my greatest passions as a coach to inspire others to get into the gym, not just to change how they perform in their sport, not just to change how they look physically in their body, but to come home to oneself, which I talked about this in episode 3 maybe of the series. I'll link it up here. That's where I chatted with you guys about what I would do different if I started my journey over again as a coach and creative. And I kind of talk about that journey to home within you. So what my journey has illuminated for me, not only as a coach, but also as an athlete over the years, is just how busy our minds can be. Always creating mental images, noticing new thoughts arising and fading away, noticing emotions becoming more pertinent and then fading, sensations in the body, all of these things constantly coming and going. For me, fitness has always been a way to kind of rise above that mental noise, that inner chatter, if you will, and remember the observer or the watcher behind it all, the awareness itself, and not getting kind of lost in the weeds. And it is a practice. This is essentially mindfulness, paying attention on purpose. This is the reward. This is the reward of fitness, is becoming aware of that and being able to be kind to yourself in the process and allow the process to be nurturing. Really recognizing when you are in the gym that it is you versus you, so that again you can drown out that noise of what others think of you, or you can drown out that inner noise that's kind of pulling at your attention at different times, and really just be present to what you are feeling in the body and coming home to that light of awareness of who you really are. That's kind of the first part, is noticing that fitness or movement, whatever you want to call it, is essentially a pathway to presence. And if you are watching and you are new to fitness, or you want to commit to improving your fitness, but you are kind of in this spot currently of like, I don't feel motivated to go to the gym, I don't enjoy a fitness habit currently, you're kind of in that boat. I hope this shifts your perspective to provide a new light to see it in, so that you can start to get curious about your fitness practice or your movement practice and nurture that relationship, create a new relationship with it, so that it is fulfilling for you, so that you do get to grow in ways that you can not really quantify, but start to notice over time and measure, which I use that loosely, but measure it in a different way than just saying, is my body weight going up and down? Do I look more muscular or not? Is the weights in the gym going up? These kind of things that historically in the fitness industry have been really popular as signs of progress. And that's a whole nother topic we can go down, of how to monitor signs of progress, because there's many, many more besides what I've just listed there. And I want to note that over the last 5 years, probably even less than that, the collective has become more and more aware of different ways that we can indicate progress besides just those, let's call them more superficial ways of indicating progress. But I digress. The second thing I wanted to note is, if movement is a pathway to presence, and we are simply only committing to the practice to practice moment to moment awareness, then it doesn't really matter what the movement practice is in and of itself. And I bring this up because I've kind of traveled a varying path of different movement practices over my last decade in the fitness industry. It started with a bodybuilding approach to my training program. I then became very heavily identified as a power lifter. Once I got injured from that, unfortunately and fortunately, there was a lot of blessings in disguise from that. I got into yoga and Pilates and circus arts and dance and animal flow and gymnastics, strength training and weightlifting, and just really diversified my horizons and explored. And I did this because I was simply following my joy, my curiosity, and doing what I was passionate about. I've talked about that a few times with you guys here in separate videos about keeping your joy as that North Star in your journey. Because I think as soon as you kind of lose that excitement factor and the psychological fatigue starts to ramp up, it's time to pivot and make some changes to bring that joy back into the process. Because when that is there, that is when you are stimulated. That is when you are present. That is when you are connected with the moment and making progress and growing. And that is the goal, is simply growth. Because I have been there and I've talked to others, some of you that might be watching at the gym, where you've identified as a power lifter for so long or a weightlifter or what have you, and you start to notice that that psychological fatigue is creeping in. Sometimes it can be scary to think about stepping away from that sport for a period of time and kind of letting it breathe. Maybe you've pushed yourself a little bit too far. You've made yourself show up on days when you didn't really want to in the gym, and it's kind of built this gradual residue of resentment. And this isn't a bad spot to be. You don't have to shame yourself for being here if this is really speaking to you right now, but just give yourself the blessing to step back so that you can take more steps forward. And maybe that means exploring yoga or like a completely different movement practice in order to, again, give that sport that you really love space to breathe so that you can let the excitement and that fire come alive again, and then step back into it with a renewed appreciation, with a deeper love, remembering like why you started that sport and kind of relighting the juices of that creative process and what it gives to you when you are present to the process and connected and feeling alive. Because that is what really matters, is feeling alive in the process. That is the reward. That is what's going to keep you coming back for more. It gives you life. That is life living through you, and it's going to be what pulls you along and motivates you to keep showing up, because it's giving you just as much as you are giving to it. I mentioned it already that I've been an athlete pretty much my whole life, but I played softball from t-ball all the way through college. And I remember there were times within that 17-year journey that it would feel like work some days, especially in college when I had a lot on my plate and I had games and practices and weekend tournaments and all of these things. There were times where showing up to my movement practice felt like a job, and I would have to remember why I started. And I still do remind myself this of some days in my work with the Pursuit of Authenticity coaching, is to let that little girl inside of you that fell in love with the sport, the work, whatever it is, with the process, let that little girl or little boy, whatever it is, inside of you come out to play without pressure. And for me, I hope for you too, just this mantra can help you to remember why you are doing this and can help you to tap into those creative juices, that energy of play. And remember that that is what all of this is about, right? Because I get it. I know, like in the gym, sometimes it can get so serious. You get so focused. You put so much pressure. Like, I have to get it right. I have to be perfect. I have to show up because I have a competition or a show or whatever. And it can become so serious. And yeah, you want to bring your best. You want to, commit fully and do a really, really good job. But sometimes this pressure can take you out of that flow state and make you more tense and rigid than if you were just alert yet relaxed. Driving home this second point here is that if movement is simply a pathway to presence, it is okay for it to ebb and flow over time. Finding the sport or whatever fitness modality speaks to you, makes you come alive, brings you that joy, brings greater balance into your life, taps you into that flow state, that creative fuel, that gratitude for the process, that love of the process, that nurturing and reward of showing up for you, doing you for you, and remembering the beauty and the freedom in that. To let it be fun, to create moment to moment the body, the business, the lifestyle that you love with sincerity, with so much meaning, with so much intention, truly feeling it and savoring it. And then releasing it and letting it go. And again, just being so grateful for it all. Let me know in the comments below, where are you at currently in your process? Are you someone listening that wants to get into a fitness habit, but is struggling with staying consistent and finding the love in the process? Maybe you are someone who goes to the gym here and there, and maybe your reasons for going are from that space of maybe specific weight on the bar, maybe a specific physique that you desire, which again, these are not bad things. It really just comes down to your why and making sure that that is coming from the right place. Or maybe 3, you are someone who has been consistent with a fitness habit over the years, but currently you're in a space of kind of that ebb and flow where you're not fully into something. You're not super passionate about whatever fitness modality you used to do, and you kind of miss that. You kind of are curious about how to rekindle that habit and how to allow your fitness habit to help you to come alive, to get greater clarity in your life, to rise above that noise and come home to who you really are. That is my goal as a high performance coach. I love helping clients find greater clarity, not only in the gym, but especially in their life. Love helping them to feel more free, help them to make life feel more fun, help them to elevate their everyday, because that is the golden ticket. That is like the magic touch, and that is the reward. So if you are interested in support in your fitness journey and this video is really speaking to you, check out the links in the description box below for my one-on-one online fitness coaching programs. I also have space open for one-on-one in-person private training sessions. This could include resistance training, mindfulness meditation practice, yoga and mobility or recovery focused sessions one-on-one together. So find which speaks most to you, check them out, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, which is also linked in the description box. Again, I would love to support you in your journey to coming home to you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I think it's over here. If you are not already subscribed, so you can be notified as I release more episodes in this series. Like I said, the next video, which will be in 2 weeks from today, I will probably do another off-season update because like I said, I'm really excited to share with you guys what my next block of training is going to be looking like, and maybe give you guys some demonstrations of these new movements I will be doing. Or I'm also kind of thinking of doing a part 2 to that video that I linked earlier in this video, which was what I would do differently if I was starting over again as a coach and a creative. So if one of those speak more to you, if you have more interest in either one, let me know as well in the comments below. And I will see you guys again in a couple of weeks. Peace! And have a happy Halloween if you celebrate. I am so excited for Halloween. I actually just got done planning we're having a Halloween party and I'm super excited. So I just got done planning the music and our costumes and the food we're gonna be having. So I had to let you guys know. So have a happy Halloween and I will see you guys again, like I said, in a couple of weeks.